Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to talk, we are going to analyze a very important topic, that is that J&K government has recently banned the movement of civilian traffic on certain highway, and that highway serves a very important part in the lives of civilians also. So right now there are a lot of protests from the leadership from Jammu Kashmir and from the people for blocking of a highway. So we'll discuss and analyze this topic in detail. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. This is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call on these numbers or you can visit our website too. The PDF of this lecture will be available on our website in both the languages, Hindi and English. So what is the relevance of this topic from exam point of view? If we talk from UPSC perspective, in your mains paper 3, it is very important. It will be asked under these topics. In interviews also, such topics play a very important role, and J&K is always in news for all the wrong reasons, for all the controversies. So mostly because of the Kashmir conflict and Kashmir issue. So the solutions to the Kashmir issue plays a very important role for the UPSC interviews and exams also. So you should be well aware about the incidents happening in the state. So at objective level, what are the areas we'll be mentioning here in this particular lecture? You should know that about the highway mentioned also, and at subjective level, security challenges in J&K is very important. So as J&K is in news articles, there are two articles there which are always in news, 35A and article 370, and recently even BJP in its manifesto has said certain things about the removal of article 35A. So this is always in news, and even it is yet Supreme Court has to give its decision on this article. So there's a question about it. Consider the following statements regarding the Article 35A of the Constitution, which is often seen in news. So the first statement is Article 35A empowers the Jammu and Kashmir State Legislature to define permanent residence. It is added to the Constitution through a presidential order. So which of the following statement is true? Both 1 and 2, only 1, only 2, neither 1 and 2. So I hope you will give me the answer in the comment box. So we'll proceed towards today's lecture. Why it is in news? Because recently J&K government, this Home Department has, according to their instructions, they have issued an order which has banned the movement of civilian traffic on 270 kilometer stretch. So this is the highway, and the stretch around 270 kilometer has been banned. This starts from Udhampur area of Jammu to Baramulla in the valley of the Jammu Srinagar Uri National Highway. So the national highway is Jammu Srinagar Uri National Highway. So it will be like 2 days every week. Now these 2 days in a week are Sundays and Wednesdays. This highway would be exclusively used for the movement of only military convoys. So during this time, only military convoys will move from the place. This particular decision has been taken considering the security concerns that led to temporarily blocking of the part of the highway. However, this has an implication on civilian population also. Here we are talking about national interest. National interest is obviously of the supreme importance, but this has an implication on civilian population also. Now let's see why this highway is important. See, this Jammu Srinagar Uri National Highway is NH1A. It runs around 370 kilometers. It is total 370 kilometers highway. So this national highway is not just only a road link that connects Kashmir to the outside world, to the mainstream India. Rather, it also connects Srinagar with its southern and northern districts of the valley also. So suppose this is the J&K state. So it just not connects Kashmir to other areas in India, but it connects the northern districts of Kashmir with the southern districts of the valley, Srinagar, right? So this highway passes through 5 of the 10 districts of the valley. So if there are 10 districts in the valley, this particular NH1, it passes from the 5 districts of the valley, and highways to at least 2 more districts branch out from it. So there are around many districts which branch out from this particular highway. So this highway directly and indirectly impacts the population of 69 lakh people who will be affected on these 2 days of the week. So you might be thinking how they will be affected, because if the highway is not open, they can use the normal roads. But this is not the case in case of Srinagar. I'll tell you how. Look at this map. So the blocking of highway, here we are talking, it will start from the Udhampur, then you can see Ramban is there, Kazikund, Anantnag, Avantipura. So all these places, so it is a long stretch of 270 kilometers, NH1, right? It is starting from Jammu to Srinagar to Uri. So this is the highway, but they have blocked from this area, Baramulla and to Udhampur. The civilian traffic will be blocked. Now see, it is totally impossible for the people to travel, especially from Avantipura and Anantnag, as they have no other road connectivity. This is the only road they have which they need in their daily lives. And then if we talk for Baramulla, so here you need to understand one thing, that if you need to come to Srinagar from Baramulla, it is around 55 kilometers. But when this highway is closed, then what happened? You have to go to Sopur. So okay, fine, the person has gone to Sopur, that is around 20-25 kilometers. And then if you need to go to Srinagar from Sopur, you have to pass from a village called Sumbal, and even then you have to travel 1 kilometer on the highway. So if 1 kilometer this highway is blocked, still the people will face the trouble, right? So this is the case in many other villages and towns which are branched out from the highways. They have no other option. So if the civilian traffic is blocked, and the timing of the blockage is 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays and Wednesdays. So the daily life is totally hampered. So how it is hampered we'll talk, but before talking about that, let's talk about what are the reasons that government is giving that they are blocking this highway. Because they are saying this road is a block to terror. So this process will block terror, because recently we have seen the suicide bombing of security forces convoy in Pulwama, which has killed 40 CRPF personals. So government says this is the prime reasons. National security is the most important reason, and it should be. It is in fact, because we have to take certain decisions sometime when national importance and national security is at stake. Right? So government has given this reason, and this stretch would be closed for all forms of civilian traffic from dawn to dusk, leaving it openly exclusively for convoys of security forces. While the highway would be closed on these 2 days, civilian traffic already faces restrictions through the week, right? And so here the reason is of national security. The main reason, they want to secure the our paramilitary forces and the armed forces which are already doing a lot for the security of the country. But now let's talk about the implications of this roadblock. What kind of consequences civilians have to face? See, it is a lockdown. It is a virtual lockdown of the valley for 2 days every week. It is not a curfew, but it seems like a curfew. According to the official figures, over 10,000 vehicles move on the highway from both sides every hour, including around 5,000 light motor vehicles. So I'm talking per hour. So this includes, these are the vehicles carrying students, patients, government officials and businessmen. So closing the highway during daytime, it would mean the most government and it would mean most to the government and private offices, banks, schools and colleges. They would remain shut on Wednesdays, and the movement of people to hospitals would be severely restricted to the Wednesdays and Sundays. So Wednesdays, obviously they are affecting the private and government offices, schools, colleges, and on Sundays, because hospitals, they are open 24/7, right? So whether it is a Sunday or Monday, they are never closed, and people can fall sick even on Sundays, right? So it will impact the life of such patients. Like if you have to carry someone through the roads, then the civilian population will face the problems. Now see, even now there are days when this order has been implemented by the state home department instructions, and even the government has closed the streets connection to the roads by concertina wires. You might have seen these wires. So there are 7 important hospitals, including 3 government hospitals on this highway that people need to connect through these highways. District Hospital Baramulla, in Patan, Schemes Bemina. So these will be affected. 2 colleges, 6 higher secondary schools, top 10 private government schools are there on these highways. They are connected through these highways which will be affected. So that's the reason it is being protested by the leadership and the civilian society. But definitely we have to balance the things. We have to see why the government has done this, because government has no interest of blocking the things in Kashmir. That definitely national security is the reason, but we cannot deny the problems faced by the people in the state. Now let's see, do we have any other viable option for rather than blocking the highway, if we can use some other ways. Now see, almost all colleges, higher secondary institutions, school in 5 districts of the valley are accessible only through this highway, as I told you. And besides, there are hundreds of villages and towns spread on both the sides of highway from Udhampur to Baramulla. Now this ban would effectively cut them off from other places on 2 days every week. Now, whenever security forces vehicles are using highway, civilian traffic is often halted for various lengths of time. Had the government decided to move security convoys at night could be one reason, one viable option. The impact on civilian traffic movement could have been much less. Next thing is the train journey. So there's this train which starts from the Banihal to Baramulla. Through national highway, it is the traveling time is 5 hours, but through the train from Banihal to Baramulla, the time is 2.5 hours. So government could have thought or given a thought about train journey also, but government is citing the reasons that it is difficult through train journey because more security is needed if we need to carry the equipments the army use. So we would need extra security for the train journey. But this could be an option because even on the highway we are providing extra security. So it is one and the same thing. It is another viable option. Moreover, the time is less. And next is if the government has chosen some specific hours, because all 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. seems too much. So this is one of the thing I think could be the viable option. So what do you think about this issue, the protest and the government citing reason of national security? But at the same time, you have to see how the civilians have to suffer, because I was reading certain reports when people were telling they have to carry some of their relatives to the hospital who are very serious and they face a lot of problems doing that. So then we have to see the civilians also and the national security. It is something, national security versus the problems faced by civilians. So how we can balance this thing? That is the major question. So you can tell me your answer in the comment box. Let me see how you guys analyze this situation. Now this answer is both 1 and 2. Both the statements are correct here. So this is the analysis for today's lecture. If you have any queries, you can contact me. Thank you. Hi.